treating my body like a business changed everything for me. And it was really because I noticed that I negotiated with myself over everything. I mean, like, am I gonna watch YouTube while I brush my teeth, or am I gonna watch YouTube while I eat my lunch, or am I gonna watch YouTube while I'm driving on the way to work? Like, you get the picture. Like, you're always in a negotiation with yourself, and so when you take a different step back, right, and take the lens of like, I'm not the voice inside my head necessarily. It almost makes it a little bit easier to start winning those arguments for long-term you, right? Because really the argument is between like short-term you and long-term you. Like you want the short-term gratification of, doing two things at the same time so that your brain doesn't get bored because it likes firing on all cylinders all the time. When in reality, like long-term you would probably appreciate the fact that like you took your time to brush your teeth, focus on one thing at a time, right? Eat your lunch and just like kind of process what's been going on throughout your day, and then just drive your car and enjoy the drive. Like, when was the last time you went on a drive and enjoyed driving? Like, for me, it was when I lived back in Alaska and there wasn't a crazy amount of traffic everywhere. Like, I remember when I first got to Phoenix, like I literally felt like I was in an ocean when I first got onto the interstate. And I think a lot of times that's exactly how we can feel when we're constantly surrounded by all these distractions and there's all these things happening. But really, I say that to say this, like, when you take a step back and actually look at what's important for long-term you, right? Like, would you rather be working 100 hours a week, 90 hours a week, or literally subtract like 5 hours a week away from that and actually focus on your health so that 10 years from now you can actually be running through a field with your kids, right? Like throwing a football back and forth and not be like doubled over on the sideline, huffing and puffing because, you've been overweight for the past 20 years. Yes, you've been able to provide them with really good sports coaching and, great meals. They get all the Lunchables with the pepperonis and all that, but you're not able to actually spend time with them, which in the grand scheme of things is what I think really matters. Like, I was able to spend time with my dad. Granted, it was while working, right? Like, he owned a construction business and I was homeschooled. So like I had all the time in the world to just work. And I think like that taught me a few things. One of them was like the discipline of waking up early every day, because like I didn't want to do that. But then it also taught me that like I never wanted to be in a trade again. And then the military kind of cemented this idea of like, okay, successful people wake up early. And like, I'm sure there's plenty of exceptions who like don't. Like I know there's one YouTuber I'm thinking of specifically who does entrepreneurship, and he will like wake up and start his day with a blunt and then just like go back to bed. And to me, like, I've been in the numbing stage before, and that is just so miserable. Like, that's not an area that I would ever want to go back to personally. I think having that discipline, it made me realize that like you have so much more control over your life when you're actually structured. When I didn't have any control was when I felt like I had the most control, if that makes sense. Like, I thought that if I could just go about my day doing everything that I wanted willy-nilly, that's when I like actually had a grasp of my life, when in reality I had zero grasp. And it was freeing in a way, but it was also like locking me up because I wasn't able to reach my real potential, if that makes sense. Like, now I time block out everything. I know that I'm going to the gym. Okay, 5:15 every day I'm at the gym, and there's nothing that can stop me. I got 2 hours of sleep last night. I still woke up at 3:30 and I got ready and went to the gym. Like, that is just ingrained in my mind of like, the guys that I used to work for, they would wake up at 4 a.m. every day. And I was like, okay, if they're waking up at 4 a.m. and they're making millions, right, then what can I do to be better than them? Well, the first thing in my mind was like, wake up earlier than them, right? Like, I don't really care how many skills you have. I'm sure you have great skills. I have okay skills, but I'll tell you what, like, I will outwork any person in this room, right? Like, how many people do you actually know who's waking up before even 5, right? So if you can challenge yourself to actually wake up, 30 minutes earlier, right, and go get 30 minutes of cardio in, like, you don't need to be an insane musclehead to like actually get yourself in shape. Literally, like, take an MCT fat burner. The studies have been kind of wonky on MCT fat burners. The only reason I suggest them is because I take them before I go compete. So like, if it works for me to get on a stage and like flex all pretty like that, then you can probably take it too and see results with your cardio health, if that makes sense. So what I do is I'll take it like 20 minutes-ish before the cardio, and I'll get on, I'll do the cardio. I would do it for an hour because I had time to, but if you don't, just do it for 30 minutes. and then leave, like go eat after that, right? But if you do fasted cardio consistently doesn't have to be every day. It can be 3 or 4 times a week. But if you start doing it consistently, bro, you're gonna see incredible results. Like you have to show up every single day for your business, or what happens? The business fails, it goes bankrupt, it goes underwater. So if you're not showing up every single day for yourself, how are the people that you employ, the people that you work for, your clients, how are they gonna look at you when they see, okay, like here's this guy who's like wearing a hoodie and sweatpants and like he's got 3 X's on the tag. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you're popping trend, you shouldn't be wearing triple X's. Like I think I can wear a double X on a good day, and that's like with a good chest bump. But I digress. You know, your body is worth more than your bank account, because your bank account is going to be seeing ups and downs. But when you actually value your body, right, like you can actually get on a graduating slope as opposed to continuous up and down, right? And you know, obviously the goal is to get consistency with both, with everything in your life. But if you haven't gotten consistency with either one, you might as well start with the one that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. You know, I get so many people that come to me and they're like, man, I just don't want to splurge on my health. I don't want to, you know, go out and like drop money on coaching or drop money on supplements. And it's like, dog, you're not splurge. Like this isn't a vacation. Like you are stuck with this vessel all day, every day. So why would you not put the smallest bit of investment into making it something better, right? And my last point is, no, that was it. That was my last point. Thank you for watching. This is a completely different video than I typically make, but if you like it, if you found some value in it, you know, I think only 10% of people make it this far to the end of the video. So just comment 10% below and I'll know like, okay, these are people who actually vibe with it, and maybe I'll make some more. So thank you.